In 2012, a man stood at the open door of a small capsule floating 39 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. Below him, through the curvature of the planet, he could see the thin blue line of the atmosphere, the fragile shell of air that separates all life on Earth from the absolute zero vacuum of space. He was wearing a pressurized suit. He was breathing pure oxygen. He checked his instruments one final time. And then he stepped off the edge. What happened in the next 4 minutes and 19 seconds had never happened to a human being before. And whether he would survive it, nobody in the control room below was entirely certain. Before we find out what happened, we need to go back 52 years. To a test that almost nobody remembers. To a man who did something so far beyond the boundaries of human experience that even the scientists who designed the experiment were not sure his body would survive. Because the story of Felix Baumgartner, the man who jumped from space in 2012, cannot be fully understood without first knowing the story of the man who made it possible. A quiet, methodical U.S. Air Force captain named Joe Kittinger. And what he was willing to do with his own body so that one day, someone else could go further. Joe Kittinger was born in 1928 in Tampa, Florida. From childhood he was obsessed with aviation, the kind of boy who spent every available hour near airfields, watching planes, dreaming of altitude. He joined the U.S. Air Force, became a test pilot, and in the late 1950s was selected for one of the most dangerous experimental programs in American military history, Project Excelsior. The mission was simple to describe and almost impossible to survive. The U.S. Air Force needed to know if pilots ejecting from high-altitude aircraft could survive the fall back to Earth. At extreme altitudes, a human body in freefall faces conditions that no parachute jump had ever tested. Temperatures of -70 degrees Celsius. Near total vacuum. And the terrifying possibility of a flat spin, where the body begins rotating uncontrollably, faster and faster, until the G-forces cause brain damage or death. Joe Kittinger was going to find out what happened, by jumping himself. The first test almost killed him. His drogue chute deployed too soon and wrapped around his neck. He went into a flat spin of 90 revolutions per minute and lost consciousness. Only an automatic reserve chute saved his life. A lesser man would have stopped there. Kittinger went back up. On his third and final jump in August 1960, he ascended in a helium balloon gondola to 102,800 feet, roughly 19 miles above the Earth, and jumped. His freefall lasted 4 minutes and 36 seconds. He reached speeds of over 980 kilometers per hour. He fell through near vacuum, in temperatures that would kill an unprotected human in seconds, with a glove that had failed to pressurize, meaning his right hand swelled to twice its normal size during the descent. He landed safely in the New Mexico desert. And for 52 years, his record stood untouched. All that's interesting history and headlines. Before we continue, if you're finding this story as extraordinary as I do, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We find these incredible true stories every single day, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Then came Felix Baumgartner. Born in Salzburg, Austria in 1969, Baumgartner had spent his entire adult life pushing the boundaries of what a human body could do in free fall. He had base jumped from the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. He had crossed the English Channel in freefall with a carbon wing strapped to his back. He had jumped from the Petronas Towers in Malaysia. And for years, he had been working towards something that made all of those jumps look modest. He wanted to break Kittinger's record. He wanted to jump from the edge of space. And he wanted to be the first human being to break the sound barrier, not inside an aircraft, not inside a spacecraft, but with his own body. The project took 5 years to prepare. It was called Red Bull Stratos. The technical challenges were staggering: a custom pressurized suit capable of protecting a human body at near space altitude, a specially designed capsule carried by a helium balloon the size of a football stadium, a flight path calculated to avoid the jet stream, a medical team monitoring every physiological signal in real time from the ground. On October 14, 2012, Baumgartner ascended to 39 kilometers above the Earth's surface, the edge of space, and jumped. He became the first person to break the sound barrier in free fall, reaching a speed of 1,357 kilometers per hour. Hatching Catney, but the jump nearly went catastrophically wrong. 30 seconds into free fall, Baumgartner began to spin. Not a gentle rotation, a violent, uncontrolled spin that accelerated rapidly, exactly the kind that had almost killed Kittinger 52 years earlier. Viewers watching the live stream saw his body tumbling, rotating, out of control. The control room went silent. Baumgartner himself later said that in those moments he was fighting with everything he had, using his body as a wing, trying to correct the spin before the G-forces became unsurvivable. After approximately 13 seconds of spinning, he regained control. He continued falling. 4 minutes and 19 seconds after he stepped off the capsule, his parachute deployed over the New Mexico desert, the same desert where Joe Kittinger had landed 52 years before. He landed on his feet. There is a moment in the footage of Baumgartner's jump, just before he steps off the capsule, where he looks down at the earth below him and says something that was picked up by his microphone. He said, "I know the whole world is watching now, and I wish the world could see what I can see. Sometimes you have to go up really high to understand how small you are." Joe Kittinger, then 84 years old, was in the control room that day. He had been Baumgartner's capsule communicator throughout the entire ascent, the voice in his ear, the man who knew better than anyone alive what it felt like to stand at that altitude and prepare to fall. When Baumgartner landed safely, Kittinger was one of the first people he called. Two men. 52 years apart. Both willing to step off the edge of the world to find out what was on the other side. Both survived. And between them, they answered a question that had haunted aviation since the moment humans first flew high enough to ask it: can a human body survive a fall from space? The answer, it turns out, is yes. Just barely. And only if you're willing to go first. We cover the most mind-blowing true stories from around the world every single week. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because you will not want to miss what is coming next. See you in the next one.